Jujutsu Kaisen. This is Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 172, Tokyo number 1 colony, part 12. All right, with this one, last we left off, the Reggie and Megumi were locked in bitter and aggressive battle. It's pretty much a battle to the death at this point. Megumi has activated his incomplete domain, and Reggie tried to counter it by dropping a bunch of heavy shit in it because he knew that Chimera Shadow Garden at this point is just an extension of his shadow, and that Megumi is basically bearing the weight of everything within this domain. So he summoned a bunch of cars and was trying to crush Megumi under the weight of his own shadow, but Megumi countered by summoning the Max Elephant right above Reggie and trying to crush him with a giant elephant.
Which is a very straightforward and effective strategy, in my opinion.
I mean, I would say so. And it involved my boy, Max Elephant. One of my favorite summons in this series. But we open this chapter with basically an explanation of how much force of gravity that a human being can take. And the fact that a mature African elephant weighs 3 to 6 tons. And because
thanks for the math lesson.
Oh yeah, and because this domain increases curse technique precision, Max Elephant's weight has been shifted to a realistic 3 to 6 tons of weight. So yeah, Reggie's not having a great time. His like right fibula and heel bones are now fractured under the weight of Max Elephant, which is ridiculous. That's it.
This guy is the fucking Hulk, bro, or something. He is an expert, my nigga. There's no going back, guys.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. So
there's no way he started doing this shit a few weeks ago.
No, he knows this shit.
I know.
So basically it's a battle of attrition now. So they're both just waiting for the other to die of, I guess, under the weight of whatever's in the domain. But Reggie is now underneath a giant elephant, so plans have changed. He's basically like trying to figure out what he can do to counter the situation. And he starts to think, what if, okay, I can re-enter the shadow and activate the ace card from inside. But, you know, what happens if that thing just swallows me, like the shadow just swallows me, and I'm just like stuck there forever? I don't know what it's like down there. I don't even know if I could breathe. It's not a good idea, probably. And what if he dies while I'm down there? Will I just be stuck in the shadow? What's it like?
I don't know. I think that's I would just assume that once you die, the curse technique's going to be dispelled, right? Isn't that safe to kind of assume?
I wonder.
I get him just not knowing, and not being sure and weighing all his options. I can appreciate what Akutami is doing, but I don't know. I just feel like he's not going to be trapped in the shadow realm.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. You don't want to take that risk and just be stuck in the shadow realm forever.
You know what? You're right. I guess I wouldn't. I'd try something else.
Yeah. So he busts out his ace receipt right now. He's just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to use it. And right as he's about to contractual reactivate whatever it is, recreation, he just sinks into the shadow anyway. And he's just drowning in it because it turns out there's no oxygen, buoyancy, or resistance. He's just falling into an endless pit and he's losing consciousness.
Wow.
So Megumi's just like still holding on to the domain because he's not necessarily sure. He wants to make absolute sure that Reggie's dead down there. And luckily he didn't, because Reggie just burst out of the water on one of the cars that he summoned, I guess. So he gave it turns out he
burst out of water.
Yeah, he burst out of the water, I guess, and he's just like,
what water though, bro?
There's water there.
Well, I'll bring it up again.
Yeah.
I'll bring it up again.
Oh, the pool water?
No, it shouldn't be the pool water. That's my point. But let's wait a couple pages.
Yeah. Okay. So the card dispels after his command. Luckily, he was able to, because he summoned this card. It's a recreation, so it doesn't really register a new weight. so it just like floated up to the surface, I guess.
I guess.
And he's like, I admit it, you're strong, but I'm stronger. And then he summons a whole house, drops it on Megumi. And as it's coming down, all you see the next page is he's just back underwater. And he's like, what happened? Am I back in the shadow? And he realizes like, no, wait, this is actual water. And he swims out of it, and he realizes that like, oh shit, I'm in the gym, and there's a pool in the basement level. So he basically, as the house was coming down, he fled into the shadow and ended his domain. And the house and himself broke through the floor into the pool below. So, Megumi did a quick save move there.
Did.
Yeah.
So alright, so before we move forward, this is something that I need to figure out. So, pool is on, let's just say for argument's sake, it says it right here. Basement, it's in the basement. Mm-hmm. They were on the first floor. Mm-hmm. He had the shadow covering the ground of the first floor, right? Mm-hmm. Right. As far as we know, it's just, once you fall into the shadow, you're not falling deep past it physically. You're just in the shadow. It's like a separate universe for, a pocket dimension for all we know, right? Mm-hmm. So, where the fuck did the water come from when he first came out of the shadow? Was that just how it looked when you burst out the shadow? It looks like water?
No, there was water.
I think he kind of...
No, there's water.
Unless I'm kind of interpreting this wrong, or maybe the shadow does cover a certain amount of space, and he dropped low enough that he was in the water area, but, like, he said he didn't feel anything. I don't know.
Okay, so there is water. There is water. There's water there. Because
where?
In the last chapter, you see that there's like, when he drops Max Elephant on him initially, there's just water, and I think that's the shadow.
Oh.
And he's using the cursed technique. All the
water.
Yeah, I remember he mentioned that he's using cursed energy on his foot so he wouldn't get sucked into the shadow. So the shadow is like water. And he's like using jutsu, Naruto when they're like on the water. He's basically doing that. So it is like
okay, that's how it manifests. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah, and there is like a bit of a clear difference of how like the shadow is displayed versus the water, like in the shading of the panels that he's in. Like the shading in the water is a little brighter than when he's in the shadow, but. Yeah, basically, he's in real water now, and he basically narrowly survived, I guess, getting a house dropped on him. So, it's not great. Megumi's like, well, your receipts are wet now, so you can't really use them like that. And Reggie's like, well, the ink on the receipts won't immediately fade even when wet, so, maybe I can bluff, kind of, and make it seem like these things aren't completely ruined. So at this point now, it's just a physical fight. No more fucking tricks because they're out of them, frankly. They've countered each other too much with cursed techniques to do anything but try to kill each other with knives. Knives in their fists.
Receipt fighting him confidently with his bare hands against someone with a fucking machete. Yo, Receipt Man is a thug.
Yeah, I mean,
it's called Partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. He has earned that title. No cap, no gas. You got it, bro. GG did your boy real good.
We call that Easy Money, GG.
So he's going hand-to-hand combat with Megumi with a fucking machete in his hand. And
he's blocking him, and he's anticipating his moves too. Like he
kicked the shit out of Megumi with his bare foot again. I mean, I don't love it. He's kicking Megumi in the face.
A lightning kick, like Chun-Li, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. And
had this kid reeling, and he's a good fighter. He can fight. He ain't.
Yeah. And Megumi's actually thinking that. He's like, whoa, he's tough. After all, he withstood Max Elephant's weight. Plus his reinforcement technique and martial arts aren't bad. Come on.
Not bad.
Yeah. You say, come on, use it. And when you let up in that moment, and I think like Reggie's actually going for a receipt to try to use something, the next page, oh my God, is just the shoulder and Reggie's ear and like this, just the skin of his face, like not too deep, is just ripped off. It's not there. It's non-existent anymore.
His shoulder and top part of his arm, like, yeah. You could see it's in the shape of the wolf's mouth.
Yeah.
Like the triangle.
Yeah, it's like his jaw. And
the jaw. It's perfect.
Reggie's like, what speed? He thought Megumi did this. And then he turns around and he sees the demon dog, the divine dog. And Megumi is like, that wasn't nearly enough to take out divine dog.
Oh. Yeah. I feel like Brian said that. I feel like Brian was like, the dog's not dead. And I feel like we was like, nah, it's dead. It's dead. I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
You guys were like, the dog's dead. And I was like,
Brian?
No, he had two dogs. I was talking about his Shikigami die permanently when they actually die. So
that's what we were saying.
Yeah, so it was one of the dogs.
The black one, and he was like, no, the white one died, and the black one's a new one.
Yeah,
I think it's the same. I think it's both. I think they're literally the same thing.
No,
he died, also used it to transform it into the black one.
Nah, there was two dogs in the beginning. In the beginning of the series, there's two dogs, and there's only one now.
This is a stronger version. This is a stronger version than either of those two dogs, though, from the beginning.
No, this is one of the dogs.
Dog. It's the same black dog from the beginning.
He said it was love. All right, I'm gonna.
It's gotten stronger, but it's still the same dog.
Combine them with something?
No, right, it's just a dog.
I'm gonna look it up, guys.
We'll look it up while I close it out. At this point, Reggie's got, and he knows it. He's just like, oh, man. He was waiting until I completely dismissed the dog. And he says, a sorcerer is nothing but a con artist. So I guess Reggie's about to die. Unless he doesn't. I hope he doesn't.
Yeah, I would assume so.
I would hope not. I like Reggie. I think he's pretty rad. If Maki can survive her wounds, then so can he.
That's hard body Maki.
That is hard body Maki. I'm not gonna lie. But that's where the chapter ends. I'm gonna throw it over to thoughts. What did you think, Josh?
RGC.
Oh yeah.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
I feel like we got pretty in depth with the fight, which was most of my thoughts anyway. But I'll try. But since we did cover it, I feel like I'll talk about something else, which is my appreciation for not just these two sorcerers, but just for all of the sorcerers and all of the combat in this series in general. Man, this is just real effort and patience, and just him, to what I believe, him really putting on paper exactly what he wants to convey. And that's not easy. It takes a lot of dedication and belief in yourself. And I respect it. I really respect it. And I'm glad I can, read it most weeks and enjoy it. I mean, we knew from the beginning this was going to be different. It had that vibe to it. But man, he's not folding. He's taking these opportunities. And he's like surprising us. He's giving us kind of what we want, but also adding his own twist. I mean, this series has been on fucking fire. And the crazy part is, I think that he's not even like close to like top form.
Oh man.
But I think these were the vibes I felt when I was first reading My Hero Academia, man, and a lot of other like really good series that I hold dear, like Naruto, and I'm not gonna say the other one, but there's others like Zatch Bell or One Piece. There's a bunch of great ones.
Say it.
No, because it wasn't good after a certain point.
Early. You can say early. You can say
Early.
Early Bleach.
I'm gonna go on Bleach forever on this podcast. That's something y'all just gonna have to live with. On Jujutsu Kaisen, on One Piece, on One Shots, on American comics, on a lifestyle, on an activism podcast. If I ever do something like that, where we raise up to the plate, I'm gonna take shots at Bleach probably and use it as some type of example. I digress. I love this chapter through and through. Well done fight. I hope Reggie's not dead. I mean, probably is though. Someone's got to die, man. I mean, he was a good boss to fight. He can move on. It's all right. He did his role. Maybe he could talk a little bit before he passes out. You know how it is. These niggas survive a little longer than they should, even though he's missing a whole lot.
Yeah.
You think Megumi's gonna have some honor? Just like take his leg or some shit?
What?
Take his leg?
What you mean?
Like his dog is just gonna bite his fucking arm off or some shit and be like,
no, he's just gonna...
I'll let you live.
Consume him now. What do you mean? Like, I don't...
Brian,
he's just gonna let Reggie live because he's so impressed by him.
Reggie's jugular vein is non-existent at this point. He is...
Yeah, I don't think it's up to Megumi anymore. I think it's over. Personally.
It's up to God himself. It's up to Tengen, Master Ten, whatever the fucking thumb man is. It's up to him right now.
Yeah, I don't think he cares too much for Reggie one way or another, so...
No, Reggie... I think Megumi basically resolved to murder Reggie at this point. He's like, I don't need your points. I don't need your points anymore. We got the rule that we wanted. You can go. But Brian, what did you think about this chapter, honestly? We didn't get to talk about it. Oh!
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
Could have been a fucking unified, but I had to learn it.
But you got caught up in My Villain Academia.
Hey,
bro.
I'll always be hooked up on My Hero Academia. That was that was a golden age of My Hero. But
I like the wolf scared at Reggie with his whatever's still in his mouth.
He said, "I got you, bitch."
He's like, "Yeah." I
think this chapter was really good because it kind of opened up the world of Jujutsu Kaisen. Like these last few chapters have really like showed that there's so much more to Jujutsu Kaisen than just the school. Like there's a whole group of dudes just like Reggie that are this talented, and they are not affiliated with the school.
Yeah.
Like, just imagine the possibilities he could take with this series, like, going forward. Like, this actually made Jujutsu Kaisen a lot less linear. Like, it's such an open story now because of people like Reggie and Higuruma. It's actually nuts.
Yeah.
He put on such a show with these characters that we thought, we didn't know. Obviously, you never know, but, like, it could have went either way, where, in most other stories, most authors kind of go out of the way to let you know that this is an important character.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll stick around, and if he gets smoked, it's a big deal. Like, Star and Stripes. Oh, right? That's her name?
Yeah. I mean, Nobara, They proved it that they don't keep people around in Jujutsu Kaisen just for your pleasure, your happiness.
Gigi Akutame said, I don't give a fuck how you feel. I don't care how I feel. He loved Nubara. There's no way. That was his favorite character.
Dude, I feel like he loved so many characters that I feel like he weeps whenever he kills off. Like when he killed Nanami, he was like just trying to like
the enemy's on his shoulder like
you had to do it. You had to do it.
They had to die, bro.
I know.
What they ain't no such thing as halfway
crooks.
Halfway crooks.
Crooks, yeah. Right. You can't. You gotta be 100%, man.
Yeah.
I couldn't even remember that iconic line.
Yeah, shame on you, dude. I mean, I'll say this. I feel like one thing I really respect about Megumi is that as much as like people within the story actually don't find the Shikigami that impressive, he really sticks to his guns about them. Like nobody's ever really intimidated about the Shikigami all that much. But he really does just be proving people wrong with his use.
It's just like, all right, whatever.
You got a dog?
No, like, oh, wow, is that a whole elephant?
Yeah, I mean, literally, Reggie at some point was like, "Fuck your dog." I'm not gonna.
Right. Stab that thing in his mouth and blow your bird up and toss your elephant to the side. I don't care about that shit.
Yeah, so I respect like it's funny, he uses the domain, which is the big cool attack in this series, is just a conduit for him to use Shikigami more effectively. And just like his other techniques that he's been honing forever in a more effective way. I really, it's so cool how Megumi fights. And this chapter really serves to bring out how interesting his fights could be going forward. There's a lot of action in this chapter, so all we commentate on really is the action because it's fantastic. But every fight that Megumi goes through is like a baby step forward in just like his overall development as a sorcerer and just his ability to manipulate the rules of the world that he lives in. And adapt to situations that are not favorable. So it's so cool. I can't wait to see what's next for Jujutsu Kaisen, honestly. I don't know where they go from here. Reggie dies, but does he reunite with Itadori at this point? Do they go to a different colony? I think they have to face that one other guy that's at like 100 points right now. So that'll be fun. I can't wait for Maki to come back. Oh my god, Maki's gonna enter this domain and wreck house. I can't wait.
Oh my god. Who's gonna challenge her?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think the 49ers defense can stop her, bro. Ain't no fucking way.
No way. Nick Bosa? No get out of the way, Nick. It's not you.
I'm Fred Warner. I'm gonna tackle your running back. Fuck that guy, man. Respect his play.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Was that right, Fred Warner?
I think Fred Warner.
Fucking guys, man. Red and gold bastards.
Can you guess what team Josh is on? It's one of the two that were defeated by the 49ers.
Yeah, it ain't Sad Puppy Rogers' team, I'll tell you that.
It ain't wet Golden Retriever Rogers.
American exceptionalism, but sadness.
Yeah, just hand.
The most epic way to look sad.
Yeah.
He thinks he's John Wick. I know he does. He wakes up every day and looks in the mirror before he brushes his teeth and says, "I'm John Wick."
I am John Wick.
Oh, and the mirror to me. Hi. He's the dog and John Wick in one.
Hi, I'm John Wick.
But you can't beat the 49ers in playoffs.
I bet he has a jersey, a Green Bay Packers jersey with the name Wick on the thing instead of Rogers.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I bet. And it's number 13 because he's bad luck.
No, yeah, right. You get bad hate mail from the Packer fans. They salty as fuck.
Yeah. Well, anyway, don't hate us, please.